All right, welcome to question 27 of the AAMC preview practice exam. And let us jump into the scenario. All right. You are working on a class project that requires extensive collaboration and is due soon. Your group hasn't made any progress and no one has created a plan for how to complete the project by the due date. During the last meeting, you raised concerns to your team about the lack of progress, but the team members said they have been too busy with other school commitments to work on it. You are heading to the next group meeting and remain unclear about the work you should do for the project. All right, so, what's the main problem here that we really need to address? Well, it's that your group doesn't have a plan in place to complete your group assignment, which requires extensive collaboration. And that was a very, very important piece of information that was added, right? So we know that this group project will require extensive collaboration. So that means teamwork and to the degree we are collaborating will be paramount in determining effectiveness, right? So, although we've been put in team scenarios quite a bit beforehand, this one we really need to pay attention to the amount of the degree of collaboration that we are utilizing. And also, the main problem is we don't have a plan yet. So let's see if we can try to find a plan. All right. Suggest you work as a group to make a checklist of tasks and a timeline. All right, so let's ask, let's go back to our initial differentiation like we always do. And once again, the second question is probably the most useful here. Are you taking steps to resolve or address the main problem? In the scenario, what this means here is, are you taking collaborative steps towards completing your project? Something like that is the application of that question here. And very clearly we are, right? Not only are we working as a group, but we're being very respectful and creating a very obvious plan of making a checklist of tasks and timeline. So that's all very good. We can move that into a 3 or a 4. And here, also some very, very important questions is how tangible and actionable is our step, right? How specific is it? And we're being very specific in our solution here of creating that checklist and a timeline. We are being very open to conversation and really prioritizing teamwork. Practically going down this entire list, we can be sure that we are, fulfilling our and improving the situation to a very high degree. So we can put this into a 4 response. All right. That will be very, very effective at improving the situation, right? All right, 27.2. Tell your team they must prioritize this project over other commitments. All right, so, let's ask again. Are we addressing the problem? Here, what that could mean is, are we taking collaborative steps towards completing the project? Very clearly, we are not, right? We are not being collaborative at all, which is required for this project. So, not being collaborative at all, we can immediately shuttle this into a 1 or a 2. So, differentiating a 1 or a 2, well, we can very clearly tell that we are being rude and dismissive, first of all. Another thing is, are we prioritizing our needs over the needs of others? Very clearly, right? We're not offering a solution that respects the needs of others. We're really just saying and commanding them to prioritize this project over the other project. Another important thing is, are we being open to conversation? Clearly, we are not being open to conversation. Lastly, are there any overt consequences to our response? Well, if another group member told me this, well, I think, there might be some conflict within the group. We are increasing tension. So nonetheless, we can say that this is a 1 response for sure. All right, very ineffective. And you can see how important collaboration here is, right? Particularly because it's the group assignment, but also because the prompt specified how extensive collaboration is so key, right? So this does not uphold that at all. All right, 27.3. All right, start a conversation with your group by telling them which part of the project you would like to work on. All right, so, are we taking a collaborative step towards completing our project, right? That means, are we addressing the problem? I would say we are, right? I would say we can put this into a 3 and a 4. We're starting a conversation, which is collaborative. And, this could be some solution because we are, coming up with a point of entry by telling the other group members what we'd like to work on. So, I put this into a 3 and a 4 for sure. We are definitely offering some solution that is collaborative. But if you look at, these differentiating questions, we can definitely tell if we look at, how are we impacting relevant stakeholders? Are we burdening any relevant stakeholders? Well, to some degree, we are taking over a part of the project that maybe someone else would like to work on, right? So the other group members are restricted in what they can work on. And this isn't as collaborative of an approach simply because, we are kind of offering and prioritizing our needs and what we want to do over that of the needs of others. And that way we're not prioritizing teamwork as strongly. And why that is important, because remember, the difference between a 3 and a 4 is to what degree and the probability to improve the situation. And here, what that would mean is to, get a good grade on this project or complete the project, right? That's our final goal. Well, because we're not, and we know that collaboration is key, because this is a less collaborative response, it is less likely to get us the grade we really need, at the end of the day. But, that is a lot of ifs and ands. Nonetheless, the main thing we need to focus on is we are prioritizing our needs a bit too heavily in order, and because it's such a collaborative project, it is going to make this into a 3 response, right? All right. We're burdening our other group members a bit too much here. Okay. 23.4. Uh-oh. Let's go back. 27.4. All right. Tell your group that you will complete the project without them. All right. So, are we taking collaborative steps to improve, and complete the project? Very clearly, we're not, right? And, this is not taking collaborative steps at all. And if you go to, differentiating a 1 and a 2 here, we're not offering any type of solution. For sure, we're totally disengaging from the problem. And, we're being rude to our other teammates. Also, we're not offering any type of solution because we know that this project requires so much collaboration. By not doing that, there's also going to be clear overt consequences, right? In our project, we're just taking the project, more or less. The project is not going to go well because it requires collaboration. This is just going to be a 1 response, right? Clear overt consequences, being rude, and disengaging from the problem. All clear hallmarks of a 1 answer. All right. 27.5. Ask group members to share their upcoming schedules with you so the team can find time to work on the project. All right. So let's ask, are we addressing the main issue? Are we taking steps to address the main issue? Which means here, are we taking collaborative steps towards completing the project? I'd say we are, right? I'd say to a good degree, we are taking collaborative steps to finish the project, right? We're trying to find we're trying to work with others and find a time to work on the project, which could be helpful. But it's very important to kind of see here that this is unlikely to significantly improve the situation. And why was that? Well, it was because we were already told, right, in the scenario that the other team members are too busy with school commitments to work on the project. And that's kind of been a big hindering, a big major block in completing and creating a plan for the assignment, right? So because we already know that, nonetheless, in this response, we're asking group members to share their schedule so we can find time to work on the project. Well, we already know they're too busy, so finding a time is not going to be as likely of a situation that's going to likely of a response that's going to improve the situation, and it's less likely to help. And we're still, even through this response, we're still going to run into the issue of people, not having enough time to work on the project. Therefore, this is not as likely to improve the situation, which is, remember, that's the difference between a 3 and a 4 response, right? Less likely to improve the situation. It's not going to hurt, right? And we are taking collaborative steps here, so it's going to be in a 3 to 4 range, but it's not like question 1, right, where we had a clear plan on how to and start working on the assignment and make progress on it. Here, it's less likely to help. We're not going to have as much of a chance to make progress on the assignment because we already know that the other 2 team members are just too busy, right? We're going to run into the same issue that we have. But it's a collaborative step, not going to cause any problems. 3 response. All right, so here we go. 27.6, present a project plan to the group and ask the group to commit to following it. All right, so are you taking collaborative steps to, complete the project? And, it's kind of hard here. Well, we are taking steps to complete the project, right? We're presenting the project plan, and that's a very important thing because right now we don't have a plan, right? That's a key step. That's a key issue in this scenario. But we're not being collaborative. Somewhere in the middle. It's not going to be a 1 answer. It's not going to be a 4 answer. I'm going to triage this into a 2 and a 3. So how do we differentiate a 2 and a 3? Well, a very important thing here is, are we offering a solution to the main problem? And, we can ask some other questions too, but let's start with, and are we taking personal responsibility? Well, I'd say we are for sure, right? But are we offering a solution to the main problem? And remember, we know that extensive collaboration is required for this project. And because we are asking the group to follow our plan, which was made by us and not with the group, we're not being collaborative, right? In that way, which is essential to this problem. And how are we impacting relevant stakeholders? Well, we are being, disrespectful and dismissive of other team members for sure, and their opinions, and the likelihood of causing a problem. Well, this could cause a problem, right, for the project itself, because we are taking the reins and not being collaborative to a degree that is essentially required for this test, for this project. This might not bode well for the assignment itself, right? And group members might, this might create conflict with other group members for us to, ask the group to commit to following it, right? With all that being said, the main way to differentiate this response, though, is because we are being so, not teamwork orientated, that we're not being collaborative at all, which is required, right? For all those reasons, this is going to be a 2 response. All right. I hope that was clear, and I hope all the answers and explanations here were clear. If you need me to expand on anything, please let me know in the comments, and I can even make another video if required. Please like and comment and subscribe if you can to really push this channel out to more people. I would appreciate it. And I wish you a great day, and I will see y'all back for question 28.